Om Namo Narayana, welcome back. We are reading part 4 of the Maha Upanishad. We're actually going to be finishing it up with this video. Now, before I get to that, I've got to be honest. So the theme of this channel is I'm reading these old scriptures for the first time with you. And I'm always honest whenever I've previously read something. I think it's only fair that you know I'm not delving into this, wide-eyed and unknown. If you watch the previous video, you'll know that I've already read this part. I have read the whole Upanishad. I've read a few other things, and I uploaded it to my computer, and my computer's really slow sometimes, and I was uploading a whole bunch, and I stopped, and then I started again a day later, and it didn't like that, and didn't want to continue the uploads. So I was deleting them, and I accidentally deleted 2 completed uploads. Oh, it was so frustrating. So I had to go back and make a spreadsheet of this Upanishad plus the other things I'd done, and upload everything just to make sure I had and knew and what was missing so I could fix it. And one of those things. So here we go, starting with verse 88. I shall tell you the means of curing mental ills, giving up whatever object is attractive one attains liberation. Pity the worm of a man who cannot do this giving up, which is absolutely good and dependent on oneself. The auspicious path cannot be got without subduing the mind, which is giving up desires, and which can be achieved by one's own effort. When the mind is cut by the weapon of non-projection, then is achieved existence. Having great wisdom, the swallowed, controlled mind is the place of knowledge. Resorting to great effort, making the mind non-mind, meditating in the heart, with the edge of the wheel of consciousness, kill the mind without hesitation. Your internal enemies will not bind you. I am he, this is mine. The mind is only so much. This is cut down with a knife of non-projection. The mind is blown away only by the wind of non-projection, like the bank of clouds in the autumn sky. Let the winds of deluge blow, let the oceans become one to destroy the world. Let all the 12 suns blaze, the mind is not affected. You remain intent upon that state of the empire of truth, which can only be non-projection, and which gives all success. Nowhere is the mind seen to be without fickleness. It is the nature of mind, just as heat is that of fire. This power of pulsation existing as mind, know this to be the power which is the ostentatious world. The mind without wavering is said to be amrita. The same is said to be liberation in the Shastric doctrine. This wavering, which is another name for ignorance, destroy this with reflection. Sinless one, be free from projections, attaining that position with which the mind becomes united by means of human effort. Hence, resorting to human effort, possessing the mind with the mind, be form and free from anxiety, in the place without grief. Only the mind can control the mind firmly. Who can control a king except another king? For those grasped by the crocodile of desire and fallen into the ocean of worldly life and carried away by the whirlpools, only the mind is the lifeboat. Break the mind with the mind, the rope. Uplift yourself from worldly life, which cannot be crossed by another. Whatever propensity called the mind arises from previous impulses, these a wise one is to be avoided, and from this there will be reduction of ignorance. Give up the tendency to differentiate. Giving up the instinct for worldly enjoyment, then giving up both positive and negative tendencies, be blissful without mental projection. The avoidance of desire towards whatever is seen is the destruction in the mind of ignorance. Freedom from desire is extinction. Acceptance of desire is misery. In the unenlightened person, ignorance is seen to exist. How can it exist in a person of sound wisdom, being accepted only in name? Ignorance swings a person on the steep rocks of samsara, having the thorny bushes of misery, not when ignorance dies away, leading to the desire for perception of self, reducing delusions. When everything is seen, the desire too melts away. This ignorance is only desire. Its destruction is said to be liberation. This results by the destruction of projections. The intense darkness, ignorance, is reduced when, in the sky of the mind, the night of propensities fades away by the sight of the sun of consciousness. The Supreme Lord is the ineffable conscious principle present everywhere and devoid of mental misery. All this cosmos is Brahman, eternally conscious, undecaying. The only other thing, namely mental projections, does not really exist. Nothing is really born, dies in this triad of worlds, nor is there any reality in various stages of things. Only pure consciousness is real, which is aloof, shining by itself, common to all, and free from mental torment. When this is ever realized as pure, untroubled, serene, calm, and unchanging, this mind realizes through reflection. The mind is called so because of reflection. So this thought caused by force is destroyed by resolution. The mind is bound strongly by the resolution, I am not Brahman. It is released by the resolve, I am Brahman. It is bound by the concept in keeping with the thought, I am lean, bound by misery, I have hands, feet, etc., etc. Whereas it is released by the conviction following the thought, I am not miserable, I have no body, the soul is not bound. One is liberated when ignorance dies away by the eternal conviction. I am not flesh, the bones, I am beyond the body. This ignorance is due to imagination, by conceiving the non-spirit as spirit, resorting to great effort with supreme resolve and abandoning the desire at a distance. Be blissful without fancy. My son, my wealth, he is mine. Such propensity leaps about by the tangle of senses. Do not be ignorant, be wise. Give up involvement in samsara. Why do you wail like an ignorant person by such attachment? What is this body of yours? It's but dull, dumb, impure lump of flesh, for which you are overpowered by worldly pleasure and pain? It is strange that the true Brahman is forgotten by people. May you not be smeared by attachment when you are active. Strange also that mountains are bound by lotus fiber. This universe is perpetuated by the ignorance which is non-existent. Mere grass has become adamant. Thus ends part 4. And I realized reading this, I don't remember if I had it on the first time around, how if you're a Buddhist, this might be the Upanishad for you. Though technically the Upanishads are written for Buddhists because Buddhism comes out of Hinduism. So if you're Buddhist, you should be interested in this stuff. This is your religious roots, much like Judaism is the roots of Christianity. But this is really so much in line with get rid of all this illusion around us, all this stuff, and find the real essence, the real thing, the real body, mind, soul, and whatever is not what we see. It's there, and true happiness is there. True realization, liberation, etc. is there. This is just a hunk of flesh that, well, right now I'm sweating to death and it's hot and my hair isn't combed yet and my feet are tired and I had a headache when I woke up this morning and I have to go to work and I'm thirsty and I need my cup of coffee. What misery is this? What misery is this as my shirt sticks to my back? This isn't great. This isn't liberation. We will let this lie here, and the next video starts part 5. I won't tell you exactly how many videos this Upanishad turned out to be, because I didn't know myself as I was reading it, so I will leave my future knowledge to this past video as wibbly wobbly. Who knows? Timey-wimey, wibbly wobbly, as is said. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with me. Thoughts, comments, all that good stuff down below. I would say seek liberation, but it's easier said than done. That's the catch-22. There is no shortcut. But I think just taking in the words gets you somewhere on the path. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.